What was your unstoppable moment in business? Wow, what a great question. For me, my unstoppable moment came from a decision. I was no longer willing to trade people for performance, and I made the non-negotiable decision to think differently and find a better way. Now, to give context to this story, I need to take us back to 2022. I was head of retail, 300 stores, 2 countries, 2,000 team. It was the beginning of the year and we were talking about the year ahead. My CEO says to me, Chloe, the feeling out there is really optimistic and I need you to prepare for what could possibly be a huge post-COVID comeback year. Now that all sounded well and good, except for one massive problem. My team were on the brink of burnout, including myself. We had just navigated 2 years of trying to be retailers during COVID. They were emotionally and physically exhausted, and I was waiting for the wave of resignations. So it was in that moment where I decided, we can't trade people for performance. I need to think differently if we're gonna have a comeback year. I need to find a better way. And that's exactly what I did. I started with the numbers. I analyzed the numbers differently, and I found that, yes, I've got 300 stores that I want to get great performance from, but actually it's this top group of 60 stores that truly matter. And what that did is it prioritized our energy and allowed us to focus more clearly rather than spread ourselves thin. I then started doing store visits a little differently and asking different questions. Rather than the usual, how's business going? What's driving sales? I would ask questions like, what's making your job hard? If there were no rules, what would you do differently? And from that came awesome ideas that we were able to implement and make things easier for the team. We implemented new technology to make things more efficient. We rewrote policies and procedures across customer service, recruitment, stock, web orders, just to name a few. We then looked at teamwork and collaboration in a whole new way that ended up reducing the workload for everyone. We even started to introduce on our Zoom calls with our store managers, breathwork and meditation, because sometimes real leadership is knowing when you need to tap out. When you're too overwhelmed, you need to take 5 minutes in the back room, breathe, and then come out onto the shop floor ready to lead your team. I could keep going. The point is, it was that decision at the start of the year, that unstoppable moment, that was a catalyst for a year's worth of work. And the result? Well, I didn't get the wave of resignations that I thought I was going to get. We also didn't just have a comeback year. We broke every single record in the 95-year history of the brand. So you can imagine how unstoppable everyone felt by the time the year was over. And now fast forward to 2025, that unstoppable moment has turned into my mission and my why. As a certified practitioner of whole brain thinking, a yoga teacher, and with 20 years of leadership behind me, I now teach teams that you don't have to choose between people and performance. You don't have to sacrifice well-being for success. And a world does exist where people and performance can thrive together.